Tonight on KGW News, refugees left in limbo as the Trump administration pauses a program even for those who were cleared to come.
Delay in this process may be catastrophic for some people.
Also tonight, a car hits a Providence nurse on her way to the picket lines.
Just glad that I'm able to get up at all and talk.
Plus, see who took the credit for a prank that peeved city officials while delighting some locals. And later, as we hit the hardwood from Camas to Silverton for a brand new edition of Friday Night Hoops. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin this Friday night with news that a second cat in Washington County has died of bird flu. Catherine Cook's in the newsroom with what we're learning from state officials. Catherine?
David, the cat was reportedly euthanized after becoming seriously ill with bird flu. According to officials, the outdoor cat had a lot of contact with ducks and geese, which is how they think it got sick. The second cat in as many months has died of the avian flu in Oregon. State agriculture officials say both cats lived in Washington County. One was an indoor cat. The other spent time outdoors. According to the Oregon Capitol Chronicle, that cat was euthanized after showing serious symptoms of bird flu, including fever, runny nose and eyes, and loss of appetite. State officials say the cat spent time around wild geese and ducks, the most common and expected cause of contraction. But in December, state officials say an indoor cat in Washington County died after eating raw pet food that tested positive for bird flu. The pet food manufacturer, Northwest Naturals, recalled the frozen raw turkey product. At the time, state veterinarian Ryan Schultz says it wasn't the cause they were expecting, but an important reminder of the bird flu's reach and scope.
Most of the exposures we would normally assume to be the source weren't really an option. And so we dove down a little deeper, found out that they were feeding a raw pet food.
Both cases are troubling at a time when the H5N1 virus is picking up momentum, killing millions of birds nationwide. Many of them chickens from backyard coops to commercial farms, driving up the price of eggs. And there are other concerns. In Chicago, wildlife officials are warning the public to avoid sick or dead birds after euthanizing dozens in recent months.
This disease has almost 100% mortality rate in the animals that we are seeing. And so really our options are euthanize what we can because human health is going to be the utmost priority.
To help stop the spread of bird flu, experts encourage people and pets to avoid eating raw or undercooked meat and dairy products. Also, keep your pets away from waterfowl and dead animals. Experts say while cats are most at risk for contracting bird flu, dogs can also get the virus, but appear to be less susceptible to it. David?
All good reminders. Thanks so much, Catherine. To tragedy in Woodburn tonight, where a 15-year-old has been hit and killed by a train. Police say the teen was crossing the tracks around 4 this afternoon near Stark and Ogle when he was struck. They are not releasing any other details right now. They're asking witnesses to give them a call. Just over 2 years ago, a 17-year-old was killed by a train in Woodburn, close to the high school. The railroad tracks there run right through the middle of town. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a Washougal woman was hit and killed by a driver this morning going the wrong way on I-5. The crash happened in the Seattle area, killing 18-year-old Mia Lockhart. State police say the driver who caused the crash is a teenager who's suspected of driving under the influence. He was not injured and has been arrested for DUI and vehicular homicide. An Oregon couple has now been charged with impersonating firefighters in Southern California. Dustin and Jennifer Neal were detained last week after investigators say they tried to get into an evacuation zone in Malibu, complete with radios and Cal fire gear. The two allegedly also had a fire truck bought at auction, emblazoned with the name of a fake fire department. A judge let Jennifer out of jail, but set bail for Dustin at $30,000. Both are back in court next month. And with the Providence nurses and doctors strike now heading into its third week, tonight Oregon senators and most of its congressional delegation are putting pressure on both sides to come to an agreement. 5 representatives, as well as Senators Wyden and Merkley, sent a letter to Providence and the Oregon Nurses Association. The letter says they expect Providence to engage in good faith negotiations and to present proposals that address the wage, staffing, and working condition concerns of caregivers. Meanwhile, a Providence Portland nurse is recovering after a driver hit her in a crosswalk while she was making her way to the picket line. Katie Brannon was crossing at Northeast Gleason and 47th on Wednesday when a driver turning onto Gleason hit her.
Next thing I knew, I was on the ground, and I was very fortunate to have a lot of healthcare workers right across the street who all ran over to help me.
No kidding. Brandon says she suffered significant bruising, a sprained knee, and even lost one of her teeth. Police say the driver of the car remained on scene. It appears they simply did not see her in the crosswalk. Since then, Brandon's been getting a lot of support from colleagues. They set up a GoFundMe to help her out with out-of-pocket costs, especially since she is not getting paid while on strike. New tonight, one of President Trump's controversial cabinet picks has just been confirmed by the Senate with a tie-breaking vote from Vice President J.D. Vance. Pete Hegseth was confirmed as Defense Secretary 51-50. 3 Republicans, Senators Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, and Mitch McConnell, joined all Democrats in voting against him. McConnell saying Hegseth had failed to show that he could handle the job. By the way, this is the only the second time in history a vice president's vote was needed to break a tie for a cabinet-level nominee. And speaking of the president's picks and policies, the future is now uncertain for thousands of refugees who've already been vetted and approved to come to the United States. It's after President Trump issued an executive order suspending what's called the Refugee Resettlement Program. We talked today to a local veteran and volunteer who helps Afghans who previously helped American troops immigrate to the U.S. now. He's currently working with a family who fled to Turkey after the war, and they're trying to come to the United States. Alex Waller says those who've helped the U.S. military want to escape the possibility of retaliation from the Taliban.
And so you have a lot of people that are hiding in Afghanistan and in other countries that fear for their lives, and rightfully so.
Republicans say the pause in the program is due to questions about the vetting process, but Waller told us those who work to bring these families to the states believe the process is the gold standard. And federal agencies nationwide are quietly shutting down DEI, or diversity, equity, and inclusion programs following another of the president's executive orders. Locally, it appears that includes the Bonneville Power Administration, which has erased all mention of its DEI program from its website. We found the same story on several other agency websites, like the Bureau of Land Management. President Trump also ordered federal agencies to place anyone working in DEI offices on administrative leave. It is not clear how many BPA employees that impacts, the spokesperson declining to comment.